Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 29 and today we're back for two big games, one in the Welsh Premier League against rivals Bala and then one in a Scottish Trust Trophy against Hamilton Academical. One of the toughest tests we could get at this level, and it's going to be a real barometer of how far we're coming. As it is, Bala are rivals at bottom of the league, but they've got a nasty little habit of holding us to draws in this save. So that's something I'm wary of too. And we've got a couple of injury concerns as well. In addition to Josh Thomas with his long-term knock, we're now missing key number 10 Ben Cottrell with fractured ribs. So it's starting to get a little bit tricky. We're starting to drop some points, but as you can see, we're still flying top at the Welsh Premier League. So if you're looking forward to today's episode and the two big games, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content, as well as 2 live streams a week on the channel. And of course, a massive thank you again for all your support on this channel and over on the podcast as well. Links to all the playlists in the eye above. But let's have a look at the schedule and how things have been going, because of course that's the most important thing here. We've gone for a very hectic and congested September, and we've managed to do all right. So after the first 2 games where you were with me last time, we continued our good rich vein of form in front of goal with a 5-0 win at home to Newtown. An own goal followed by a Duffy brace, a Dean goal and an even press one made us 4-0 up at half time before Duffy added his second after the break. Then back-to-back draws away from home against 2 of the stronger sides, Connors Quay and Cardiff Met Uni. Max Dean getting the goal in the latter of those 2 games, but then back to form against average opposition. A 4-1 win at home to Haverfordwest. In that one, Max Dean got a hat-trick and Mitch Pixley got himself a goal as well before a late consolation from our visitors. A 3-0 win in a League Cup, we rotated heavily. Cammy Palmer got a goal back in the side and Kabongo Shamanga got 2 himself, 1 from the spot and 1 from open play. He looked very good. Then we played last season's champions Barry, albeit we've stolen their best player who was transfer listed and leaving, albeit they've not really replaced them. We wiped the floor with them statistic wise. I'm a bit worried it was only 2-1, we missed a lot of chances. Mitch Pixley got his goal, Max Dean got a goal and Diakite won for them. But it should have been more. We were absolutely brilliant and that fills me with confidence and probably tells me we're likely to be champions this year and that TNS are probably our main rivals as well. Although they're starting to drop points now too. So let's go and get into the game against Bala. We're being suggested to make a couple of changes. 2 of them are just swapping the strikers round and 1 is press out for Palmer. And I'm not quite sure why, because even Press is fit. So he's definitely not coming out. Palmer will be on the bench. Jack Hankins back from injury. I'm tempted to get him in the squad. And in fact, I will bring him in for Brandon Mason. And because we're at home to the 12th place side and Coyle's a yellow from suspension, I'll bring in Goodrich as well. But that's going to be the lineup. No changes outside of that. It means we've got Zabret in goal, Vaughan and Bolton are the fullbacks with Badebo and Hockenhull at centre-half. Reed's getting close to overtaking Hockenhull, who's struggling physically as well. And incidentally, the wing-backs still on support duties. Since we've increased them, the ratings have been fine. So that's something we can note. Goodrich in the holding role, Pressa Magoma centre mid, with Pixley number 10 behind Duffy and Dean up front. A very good lineup, a very good side. And a pretty strong squad now as well, despite the injuries. Once we get those 2 key players back, if they're in form, we could be on fire. So let's go and get into the first game today and see if we can really set the tone and beat our rivals. Well, I think outside of Ryan Law, who was our backup left-back last year, Declan Weeks and Charlie Edge, I don't think I recognise any of that first 11, which isn't great. On the bench, they've got Ben Jones and Reese, the left-back, who I recognise. But that isn't a good side, and they're going to be in relegation trouble. So let's pump the fist. Let's tell the boys to prove a point. We've got a lot of them motivated. We've got the dressing room atmosphere right on top. And we've got to make sure that we take these sorts of teams to the cleaners, particularly when one of them's your local rivals, because that endears you to the fans. Let's see what we do in the first half. The touchline tablet's on the move again every time it goes. But early on, we've had the shots, just not the highlights to follow it. But here we are, 20 minutes gone. Free kick on the left for Magoma. The goalkeeper does very well to claim that actually. Comes flying out. Kicks atrocious though. Finds Goodrich. Bolton intercepts on halfway. He's got time to come forward and he's got a man wide as well in Magoma. Still out there from taking the free kick. Bolton through to Duffy. It's a lovely pass through. And it's Duffy who slides it into the corner. A 12 for the season for him. And I tell you what, with the front three we've got, if we get Cottrell fit again, if we get Thomas fit again, we could compete in Europe. We could compete in bigger trophies. But that's the only question, is can we get them all fit and will they come back the same players? As Edge picks it up on the left-hand side, concedes it to even press, over the top towards the front two again. Max Dean picks it up this time, and it's a good save by Davis to tip it over. Should have been two, could have been one each for the strikers. But as it is, it's just a corner we settle for, which Goodrich takes. It's a terrible one. Ryan Law, the former player, heads away. Magoma picks it up on the right wing. Inside to Hockenhull, over towards Duffy. Dean's in the middle if he can find him. Goes wide instead and wins the corner. But it is constant pressure and the goal has given us that lift. In all of these games, when we've got one, we've generally got quite excited. And we've generally dominated for a spell after. As the corner's headed away, it was a better delivery this time. And it falls for Duffy and Badebo. And now we've got a free kick again. It is constant menacing attacks. Here's Mason Goodrich, 25 yards out. Bends it round the wall. And just beats the post as well. Bala looked beaten already in truth. And with a quarter gone, I'm surprised it's only one. And we're back on the left with Paris Magoma. Another set piece causing trouble. Davis gets a hand to Hockenhull's header. But a first goal of the season as he doesn't get a strong enough hand. And really, he got caught in no man's land and then he should have saved it. He's not a bad keeper at this level. You'd expect him to keep that out. But it goes straight through him. He's got very weak wrists there. And Zabretta at the other end with another goal kick. It's 2-0. It's going to be a comfortable win. It's now a case of how many do we get and do we rest people. As Pixley finds Magoma. Through ball to Duffy. Great first touch. And a good covering challenge by the centre-half, in fact. It finds its way out to Vaughan on the right. The highlight ends. But at half-time, 2/3 of the possession. No shots for Bala. And a completely dominant display. Should have been more than two in truth. But we'll take it. So we're going to get the lads to prove a point again. They're still largely motivated. And like the last game, we'll be getting youngsters off the bench again. Alex Reid, Jack Hankin, they benefit from football. And the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. Can we get a third in time? Or will we have to make do with two? That's the only question remaining. 25 minutes to go. It doesn't look like the third's coming soon. So I'm going to give Ethan Vaughan a rest for Hankin. I'm going to bring Reid on for Badebo at centre-half. And who else can we take off? It's either Pixley or it's Dean who's complacent. So on the bench, we've got Shamanga, but he's experienced. So I think we might bring on Cammy Palmer. He's younger than Boot, I think, by a year. Oh, he's not, in fact. So 20th of October. Oh, he's nearly a year younger. So Palmer will come on. Magoma will go number 10. Palmer the left of a midfield 2. And there we go. 25 minutes remaining. Can we get a third? And here we go again on the right-hand side. It's cleared away. So Brett's going to pick it up in goal. And to be fair, Bala got in our box there. We've got to give him some credit. It's a long ball forward, which Duffy flicks on to Dean. Holds it up 30 yards out. Goes back to Goodrich again. Time on the ball. Finds a Hankin on the right. He's overlapping the youngster. Just coming back from injury. It'd be nice to see him contribute. As he gets the cross into Duffy. And he does just that. An assist for Jack Hankin. Another goal for Joe Duffy. And great vision from the youngster. They're all starting to combine. They're starting to look good. And we're beating our rivals very comfortably. 10 minutes remaining. Bolton with a free kick. It's a lovely through ball to Max Dean. The keeper's caught in no man's land, but Dean was so alert there. The anticipation that these strikers have got, the willingness to run off the ball in behind is something we haven't had before. And at 4-0 with 5 minutes to go, it could be more if we want it, but it's a Bala corner. Goodrich and Duffy get it away. Goes as far as the sub left back. He's been closed down though, so he could yet force the error. They keep the ball out there. Lots of pressure on and nowhere really to go. Greening back to Price, a lovely ball over. Correa brings it down and scores. That's probably what happens when you change half of your back four in game. But in the end, it has very little impact. It is a 4-1 win for Bangor City. Bala looked very much outplayed. The last 10 they got a chance when we made the subs. But otherwise, it was completely dominant. And I'm becoming more and more confident we're going to win this league. And so far, after 10, we're on course for invincible. Let's compare to Hamilton, a much harder test next weekend. We'll see if we can do anything in the Trust Trophy. I'll see you in a minute for a much bigger test. We're back for game 2 and we've got a star player back in Ben Cottrell. Not quite fit yet, so we'll keep him in the lineup maybe just for 60 minutes or so. Jack Hankin on the bench still. He's coming back to full fitness. Made a contribution off the bench against Bala, of course. We've got an under-18 game tomorrow as well, so a few of them can get fitness. But after getting through the last round, this is quite an important one. We're going to get Fanian on the bench because Shimanga is away on international duty. Otherwise, we can take Doran off because we don't need him in the cup games. Cottrell will replace Pixley. And I think other than that, maybe Coyle back in the holding role, and that's about it. It's a pretty good lineup aside, so we're going to stick with that. So the changes are at both ends of the diamond. Cottrell in for Pixley after injury and Coyle back in for Goodrich against stronger opposition. Vanian also on the bench in place of Shimanga, who's on international duty. And aside from that, we're as strong as we can be. Into the game we go. It's an important one for the club. Can we compete against a much stronger Hamilton side with much bigger resources? If we can, this might be a really positive sign moving forward. Well, some good players in this side, though not quite as many as I thought there would be in truth. I remember Josh Vickers, he's a very good goalkeeper. We've got Junior Moraes on the bench actually, so that suggests the squad's not bad. It's a good side, Hamilton, and they're managed by Herman Haridason. What a legend. Let's pump the fists. In fact, let's stretch the arms out. I want you to pick up where you were last time. Let's get into the first half. Let's get through the tunnel interview. This is going to be a very difficult test. We'll start on positive, knowing we've probably got to change soon. And if it doesn't work out, we'll go back to balanced. Though we've nicked it in the box. Dean's got there. Oh, he's at the post. Max Dean nicked it from a error and throw-in. And he nearly curled it in the corner. What a start that would have been. And home advantage could be anything at this point. But it is Hamilton who are getting the better of the stats. Although we're back in their quarter again. As Murray brings it out from left back. Long ball forward. Flicked on. Even Press gets a challenge in. But it falls for Munro. He goes back into midfield. And then back out to left back with Murray again. Down the line to Munro. Beats the fullback easily. Ethan Vaughan could not compete there. Gets back though. Really good challenge second time. Long up to Dean. Flicks on to Duffy. He's got him behind again. Joe Duffy's 1-on-1. Dinks the keeper and hits the post again. Oh, one each. One each for the two strikers against the opposite posts. I'm going to drop to balanced actually because we don't need to dominate this match. We just need to counter. If we do, it could work out. As Badebo clears again, Even Press brings it away. Now play long down the line. That is our route in this match. Max Dean can't quite get there. Brown intercepts to Butterfield. Back in again. They don't look great in possession, but they do get it long forward here. Badebo wins it back. Should just lay off to the keeper. Finds Hockenhull instead to Coyle. Out to right back to Ethan Vaughan. Down the line. In fact, over the top in the end. Dean flicks on. Duffy will chase. The centre half will get there. But that front two, it's just like Rose O'Malley at Breaking in the head coach when we started that save. Any front two with pace that both like to run off the ball and get in behind are going to be a threat. And here's Cottrell again, through ball to Joe Duffy. This time he does put it in. Vickers gets a hand to it, but there's too much power on it. And remarkably, it is Bangor City 1, Hamilton Academical 0. And in behind that front two with a quality number 10 in behind, it's starting to look one hell of a tactic. Let's see if we can hold on to half time. Well, we can, and since dropping to balanced, it's gone very quiet at the other end as well. We definitely deserve to be ahead. We've had good chances. We probably could have scored a second. We've hit the woodwork twice, and we've also had 2 shots on target, so it's certainly been a decent performance. We've got to stay solid at the back though. Long clearance from Hamilton, only finds Hockenhull, picks it up on halfway, and sensibly turns back to his goalkeeper. So Brett puts it into Coyle in midfield, to Hockenhull. Coyle again. Nothing silly back there. We don't want to lose it. And if that means going back to Zabret a few times, then so be it. As Badebo finds Hockenhull. Into midfield to Even Press, to Ethan Vaughan. Picks it up on the right-hand side, starts to drive. Finds Max Dean to Ben Cottrell. And he's put it wide of the post. He probably should have scored that. Another great chance. And not only are we winning this game, we've been the better side. This is a very good championship team in Scotland. As Duffy picks it up again, he's skinned the defender again. Duffy's in, it's blocked in the end. Probably should have laid Dean in for the open goal. But this is a brilliant counter-attacking display. It's very different to what we normally do. In the league, we're normally forced, as Vickers has to make another save from Duffy, we're normally forced to dictate possession to try and work through teams. They play with that sort of low defensive block. But here, Hamilton are playing football, they're playing high up the pitch. And when we counter them, we look an enormous threat. Though they still have a threat themselves. Ethan Vaughan, you took one for the team there. Fair play to you for that one. And we won't mind him getting that yellow card. But an hour gone here. And somehow we still lead 1-0. As Vaughan picks it up with a throw on the right. Even Press loses out in a challenge. Munro will clear it. Goes back to Murray. Over the top towards Winter. And header back to Cameron in midfield. Over the top yet again. Winter picks it up. He's got a defence to drive at. Instead tries to switch. Bolton heads away. But it only falls for Brown, the right back. It's good football from Hamilton here, and it is sort of a reverse of our league games. The only difference is Hamilton have yet to cause a threat, and Badebo deals with another long through ball. Duffy wins it, he lays in Cottrell, runs off the defender. Oh, he's dinked him. That is absolutely stunning. Ben Cottrell back from injury, a lovely third man run, and he just dinked it beautifully over the keeper. 2-0 Bangor, and in the 61st minute, it looks like we are going to start to cause shockwaves in this competition. With 20 to go, we are going to make some changes. Ethan Vaughan's on a booking, I want to look after him. Young Jack Hankin will get a game there. Even Press in the Middle's had an okay game, but we'll bring on Palmer. And in Cottrell, who's just coming back from injury, will be replaced by Pixley. A really good performance so far. With 20 to go, can we hold on? That's the big question. And we've got a goal kick out from the back. Hockenhull's randomly changed into the wrong colour shirt. And so has one of the subs, Palmer. But Hockenhull was already on the pitch, so why has he changed shirt? And one of the strikers has as well. Magoma nicks it to Dean, who finds Pixley. It's Duffy who's changed shirts, but it doesn't change the fact that he's got in, and on the second occasion he's put it wide. Great save from Vickers from the first one-on-one, and the second one he had to score. He's put it wide at the post, it goes down as a sitter missed. But how on earth are we dominating this game so much? I've got to go and have a look in a minute to check Hamilton are playing their first team. Because if they are, that does answer a lot of questions. If they've been resting people, we kind of get it. Here's Magoma to Duffy. Oh my words, that deserved a goal. I think it's going to be a corner. Pixley gets in, it's a delicious back heel. This is what we were aiming for. When we set up a narrow diamond, we set this short football, we set this counter-attacking. This is what we wanted. This is what we were striving for. And we finally got it. As Palmer picks it up on the right. Good delivery. Max Dean loses out, but it's only as far as Magoma. Into Pixley. The sub number 10 back to Bolton. To Magoma again. Just under hit. Hankin gets back to win it though. Brilliant from the youngster. And these boys, they're so hungry. They're hounding the visitors. And they can't get out. As we've got a goal kick again. Hockenhull plays to Zabret. It's a poor kick, and that's not what we wanted. Smith gets in. He's going to score, is he? Zabret recovers his mistake. Good save to tip it for a corner. And he spared his own blushes, quite frankly. As it's a corner from the left-hand side. In swinger. Hockenhull heads clear as far as Smith. Who's going to get there, though? We had the chase on with a centre forward. And with 90 seconds of stoppage time to go, we've got a throw-in. As Palmer finds Coyle. Back to Hockenhull at centre-half. Another strange situation with a kit after substitutions, but we can live with that as long as we're still winning. Bolton slides Dean in on the left. Chance to cross. Gets in himself. Oh, it's straight at Vickers. Went straight down his throat. It was a brilliant run, but he couldn't quite apply the finish. As Vickers throws out to Brown, the fullback. Goes down the line to Smith. Time on the ball. Plays into the centre circle to Minor. And out wide to Junior Moraes, the sub. Goes for the shot. It's a brilliant effort. Zabret tips it onto the woodwork and Bolton clears. It's been a wonderful second half to watch. Hamilton the last 5 minutes have thrown everything at it. But it's too little too late. We are going to win this game. And we're going to get through to the quarters. It's whether we face Morton or Rangers reserves up next. And it's whether we keep the clean sheet now. Badebo chips it out for a throw. Sensible defending. And that should just about be it. What a performance. What a result. And some of the chances we've created are glorious. Don't forget, we've hit the woodwork twice. We forced 2 brilliant saves from Vickers. We said it against Larne. Maybe it's just this competition. But that, without doubt, is the best, the most flamboyant and the most confident performance that we have produced in this whole save. And we've got some familiarity because Rangers reserves have got through against Morton 5-2. And one of their scorers was Kane Richie Hosler. Now, for those of you who are following our other save, the head coach with Dundee, you will know that this guy's on loan there and a bit of a hero. And his stats aren't too dissimilar in this one, unfortunately. So he might give us a few headaches. I'm just looking at Jetro Williams, who is of course an experienced player. Used to play for Newcastle and PSV. He's a squad player, but he's still playing in this competition. So this is going to be a tough test. And in fact, Cole McKinnon's there as well. We had him at Torquay and Dorking, I believe, in 2 One Club series in the past. So there is a lot of players that we recognise here. And that Rangers test is going to be formidable. And here's something else as well. Hamilton are listed as the winners this season, 23-24. That's this season, it hasn't finished yet. So why are Hamilton listed as the winners? I'm not quite sure about that. But let's have a look at the lineup they put out, which is there. And I just want to get them in selection info. Okay, so it was a rotated side. Munro's not first choice, neither is Murray or Graham. But bar possibly 3 players, maybe 4, that's their strongest possible 11. And we wiped the floor with them. So that is possibly the best positive news we could get for the future. Rangers reserves are the next opponents, and that's going to be in just over a month's time. So I think we might as well keep the same pattern, mightn't we? We'll skip through to that. We'll play Rangers reserves and then the game after against Newtown. And then we've got January action to come. So it's going to be a fantastic season. It's going to be an important one for us. It looks like we're going to regain the Welsh Premier League crown. It's whether we can go on a massive run in this competition now. If you did enjoy this episode though, those two wonderful performances and a side that's starting to reflect what we wanted. It's taken just over 3 years. It's taken a lot of upheaval. But I think we finally got the squad we wanted. We finally got the style of play in place. So if you did enjoy it, please put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. This one continues every other day at 3:30 with our head coach story on the days in between. We've got 2 live streams a week from Dundee United. And the next one of those, of course, will be tonight at 5:30. So please do come and join that if you can. You can catch up with all the playlists in the eye above as well as the podcast channel too. And of course, let me know down in the comments what you thought of the football today. Because that result against Hamilton, the way we played was stunning. And I feel that can be a real springboard for success. So let me know what you think. But thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you next time as we play Glasgow Rangers, albeit the reserves, for a place in the Trust Trophy semi-final. It could yet be my favourite competition this year as well.